Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel, where I share my travel adventures and tips with you. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey to one of the most amazing places on Earth, Alaska. Alaska is the largest and most sparsely populated state in the United States, with a land area of over 660,000 square miles and a population of just over 700,000 people. It's also home to some of the most diverse and stunning landscapes, wildlife, and cultures in the world. From the lush rainforests of southeast Alaska to the vast tundra of the Arctic, from the majestic mountains of Denali to the spectacular glaciers of Glacier Bay, Alaska has something for everyone who loves nature and adventure. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the best destinations to visit in Alaska, some of the popular food and activities you can enjoy there, some travel tips to make your trip easier and safer, and some of the amazing wildlife you can encounter along the way. So buckle up and get ready for an unforgettable Alaskan adventure. Alaska is so big that it's impossible to see everything in one trip. That's why I recommend choosing a few regions or areas that interest you and focus on exploring them in depth. Here are some of the most popular destinations to visit in Alaska. Anchorage is the largest city and the main gateway to Alaska. It's a great place to start your trip, as it offers easy access to many attractions and activities in the surrounding area. Anchorage is also a vibrant and diverse city, with a rich history and culture influenced by its native Alaskan, Russian, and American heritage. You can learn more about the local culture and indigenous peoples at the Alaska Native Heritage Center, where you can see traditional dwellings, crafts, dances, and stories. Or if you want to see some of the local wildlife up close, you can visit the Alaska Zoo, where you can see bears, moose, wolves, caribou, and more. Anchorage is also a great base for outdoor enthusiasts, as it's surrounded by stunning natural scenery and offers many opportunities for hiking, biking, skiing, fishing, camping, and more. You can explore the Chugach National Forest, which covers over 5 million acres of mountains, glaciers, lakes, rivers, and forests. You can also take a scenic drive or bike ride along the Tony Knolls Coastal Trail, which follows the shoreline of Cook Inlet for 11 miles and offers panoramic views of Denali, the highest peak in North America, and other mountains. Or you can take a day trip to one of the nearby glaciers, such as Portage Glacier or Matanuska Glacier, where you can see icebergs, crevasses, waterfalls, and wildlife. You need at least 3 days to explore Anchorage and its surroundings. The best time to visit is from June to August, when the weather is warm and sunny, but not too hot, and the days are long, up to 19 hours of daylight. Juneau is the capital city of Alaska and one of the most scenic cities in the world. It's located in southeast Alaska, on the edge of Gastineau Channel and at the base of Mount Roberts. Juneau is only accessible by air or sea, as there are no roads connecting it to other cities. This makes it a unique and isolated destination that offers a lot of charm and character. Juneau is famous for its historic downtown area, where you can see colorful buildings dating back to the Gold Rush era, such as the Alaska State Capitol, the St. Nicholas Russian Orthodox Church, and the Red Dog Saloon. You can also take a ride on the Mount Roberts Tramway, which takes you up to 1,800 feet above sea level and offers stunning views of the city and the surrounding mountains and glaciers. Juneau is also known for featuring one of the most impressive natural attractions in Alaska, the Mendenhall Glacier. This glacier is 13 miles long and covers over 36 square miles of land. It's part of the Tongass National Forest, which is the largest national forest in the United States. You can visit the Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center, where you can learn more about the glacier's history and ecology, watch films and exhibits, and enjoy panoramic views of the ice. You can also hike on one of the many trails that lead to the glacier, such as the Nugget Falls Trail, which takes you to a spectacular waterfall next to the ice. Or you can take a kayak or canoe tour on Mendenhall Lake, where you can paddle among icebergs and see wildlife such as seals, otters, eagles, and bears. You need at least 1 day to explore Juneau and its surroundings. The best time to visit is from June to September, when the weather is mild and dry, but still cool, and the days are long, up to 18 hours of daylight. Denali National Park is one of the most iconic and popular destinations in Alaska. It covers over 6 million acres of land and contains some of the most diverse and spectacular landscapes in the state. The park is home to Denali, also known as Mount McKinley, which is the highest peak in North America at 20,310 feet above sea level. The park also features other mountains, glaciers, valleys, rivers, forests, tundra, and wildlife. Denali National Park is a paradise for nature lovers and adventurers, as it offers many opportunities for hiking, camping, biking, rafting, climbing, skiing, snowshoeing, and more. You can explore the park on your own or join a guided tour or activity. One of the best ways to see the park is by taking a bus ride along the Denali Park Road, which is the only road that goes through the park. The road is 92 miles long and takes you to some of the most scenic and wildlife-rich areas of the park. You can hop on and off the bus at any of the designated stops along the way, or you can stay on board for the whole trip, which takes about 8 hours round trip. Along the way, you can see amazing views of Denali and other mountains, glaciers, rivers, and valleys. You can also spot wildlife such as moose, caribou, wolves, Dall sheep, grizzly bears, and more. You need at least 2 days to explore Denali National Park and its surroundings. The best time to visit is from May to September, when the weather is warm and sunny, but not too hot, and the park is open and accessible. Alaska has a rich and diverse culinary scene, influenced by its native Alaskan, Russian, Scandinavian, Asian, and American heritage. Some of the most popular food items in Alaska are: Alaska is famous for its wild-caught salmon, which is considered one of the best in the world. You can find salmon in many forms and dishes in Alaska, such as smoked salmon, grilled salmon, salmon burgers, salmon chowder, salmon jerky, salmon candy, and more. Salmon is not only delicious but also healthy, as it's rich in protein and omega-3 fatty acids. Alaska is also famous for its king crab, which is one of the largest and most expensive types of crab in the world. You can find king crab in many restaurants and markets in Alaska, especially in coastal towns like Anchorage or Juneau. King crab is usually served steamed or boiled with butter or lemon juice. King crab is not only tasty but also fun to eat, as you have to crack open the shells with special tools or your hands. Reindeer sausage is a type of sausage made from reindeer meat mixed with spices and herbs. It's a traditional food item in Alaska that dates back to the native Alaskan culture. You can find reindeer sausage in many places in Alaska, such as street vendors or breakfast joints. Reindeer sausage is usually served grilled or fried with eggs or potatoes. Reindeer sausage is not only savory but also exotic, as it's not something you can find easily elsewhere. Blueberry pie is a type of pie made from blueberries mixed with sugar and flour. It's a classic dessert item in Alaska that reflects its abundance of wild berries. You can find blueberry pie in many bakeries and cafes in Alaska, especially during summer when blueberries are in season. Blueberry pie is usually served warm or cold with whipped cream or ice cream. Blueberry pie is not only sweet but also refreshing, as it's a perfect way to end a meal or enjoy a snack. Alaska has a lot of fun and exciting activities to offer, depending on your interests and preferences. Some of the most popular activities in Alaska are: flightseeing is a type of sightseeing that involves flying over scenic areas in a small plane or helicopter. It's one of the best ways to see Alaska's vast and diverse landscapes, as you can get a bird's-eye view of mountains, glaciers, lakes, rivers, forests, tundra, and wildlife. You can also fly over some of the most remote and inaccessible places in Alaska, such as Denali or Glacier Bay. Flightseeing is not only thrilling but also awe-inspiring, as you can witness the beauty and grandeur of Alaska from above. Dog sledding is a type of activity that involves riding on a sled pulled by a team of dogs. It's one of the most traditional and authentic ways to experience Alaska's culture and history, as it dates back to the native Alaskan and Eskimo culture. You can also learn more about the dogs and their handlers, who are often passionate and knowledgeable about their sport. Dog sledding is not only fun but also educational, as you can gain a deeper appreciation for Alaska's people and animals. Northern Lights viewing is a type of activity that involves watching the aurora borealis, which are natural displays of colorful lights in the sky. They are caused by the interaction of charged particles from the sun with the Earth's magnetic field. They are one of the most spectacular and magical phenomena in nature, and Alaska is one of the best places to see them. You can see the northern lights in many places in Alaska, especially in the northern and interior regions, such as Fairbanks or Nome. The best time to see them is from September to March, when the nights are long and dark. Northern Lights viewing is not only mesmerizing but also romantic, as it's a great way to spend a night with your loved one. These are just some of the popular activities in Alaska, but there are many more to explore and enjoy. Alaska is an amazing place to visit, but it also requires some planning and preparation to make your trip smooth and safe. Here are some travel tips to keep in mind when visiting Alaska. Pack layers. Alaska's weather can be unpredictable and changeable, depending on the season and location. It can be warm and sunny one day, and cold and rainy the next. That's why it's important to pack layers of clothing that you can add or remove as needed. You should also pack some waterproof and windproof items, such as jackets, boots, hats, gloves, and umbrellas. You should also pack some sunscreen and sunglasses, as the sun can be intense and reflective in Alaska. Rent a car. Alaska is a huge state with limited public transportation options. That's why renting a car is one of the best ways to get around and see more of Alaska. You can rent a car from many places in Alaska, such as airports or downtown areas. You should also consider renting a four-wheel drive or an RV if you want to go off-road or camp in remote areas. You should also be aware of some driving rules and conditions in Alaska, such as speed limits, wildlife crossings, road closures, gas stations availability, etc. Book early. Alaska is a popular destination that attracts millions of visitors every year. That's why it's advisable to book your flights, accommodations, tours, activities, etc., as early as possible to secure your spot and get the best deals. You should also check for availability and prices online before you go, as they can vary depending on the season and demand. You should also be flexible with your dates and destinations if possible, as you might find better options or opportunities along the way. These are just some travel tips to help you plan your trip to Alaska, but there are many more to learn and follow. Alaska is home to some of the most diverse and abundant wildlife in the world. You can see many different species of animals, birds, fish, and plants in Alaska, depending on the region and season. Some of the most common and iconic wildlife you can encounter in Alaska are: Alaska has 3 types of bears: black bears, brown bears, and polar bears. Black bears are the smallest and most widespread, and can be found in many forests and mountains in Alaska. Brown bears are the largest and most powerful, and can be found in many coastal and inland areas in Alaska. Polar bears are the most rare and endangered, and can only be found in the Arctic regions of Alaska. Bears are usually shy and avoid humans, but they can also be curious and aggressive if provoked or hungry. You should always keep a safe distance from bears, and never feed or approach them. You should also carry some bear spray or noisemakers in case of an encounter. Moose are the largest members of the deer family, and can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. They can be found in many forests, wetlands, and tundra areas in Alaska. Moose are usually solitary and docile, but they can also be territorial and defensive if threatened or disturbed. You should always respect their space and never get too close to them. You should also watch out for moose on the roads, as they can cause serious accidents if hit by a car. Alaska has several types of whales that visit its waters, such as humpback whales, orca whales, gray whales, beluga whales, and more. Whales are some of the most majestic and intelligent creatures in the ocean, and can perform amazing feats such as breaching, diving, singing, and communicating. You can see whales in many places in Alaska, especially in coastal towns like Seward or Homer. You can also join a whale watching tour or cruise that will take you to some of the best spots to see whales up close. You should always follow the rules and regulations when watching whales, such as keeping a safe distance and not disturbing them. These are just some of the wildlife you can see in Alaska, but there are many more to discover and admire. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about Alaska. Alaska is truly a wonderful place to visit, with so much to see and do. I highly recommend you to visit Alaska at least once in your lifetime, as it will change your perspective and enrich your soul. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more travel videos like this. Also, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about Alaska or what other places you want me to cover next. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!